Yo, what's poppin', boys? Back at it again with another Banlist reaction video. This time for the Master Duel January ban list. And our first hit is going to be Bestial Serenir to 1. This doesn't really matter for decks that use Bestials as hand traps, since you'd much rather just use Druid Worm, Ball Drake, Magnemite. This mainly hurts decks that use the Bestial Serenir to get other Bestial monsters like Lubellion into rotation, especially, or if they are using it to get the branded spell traps like Branded Retribution into rotation, especially into the graveyard. So this hurts Branded's consistency a bit. It doesn't really hurt the power level of the deck as much. It just makes it a bit more obnoxious since basically all of your cards are limited. You have Branded Fusion to 1, Aluber's at 2, Openings at 2, Serenir is at 1 now. So I was probably missing something else as well. So that's kind of awkward to play. This doesn't actually hurt decks that are using it as a hand traps though. So they're not really good as hand traps right now anyways. The main deck that gets actually hurt by this is going to be Labyrinth, which is also why they get a slap on the wrist. Um, that's not really much more than that. It just slightly hurts the consistency. It doesn't really hurt the grind game that much since you can get the second one into rotation pretty much whenever you want to as well. Um, and this deck also doesn't really care about Droll as much, which is probably the most powerful hand trap in the format right now, aside from obviously Maxi, since it does hurt all the strong combo decks like Super Heavy Samurai and Minadium, both of which just got their new support and are really tearing it up on the ladder right now. For our next hit, whoa, what's this? Wow, where did this come from? Oh my god, what a surprise! Like, comment, and subscribe. It's a Conquistador of the Golden Land is back to 3 now. So this is actually an unhit on the ban list. I think this is totally fine. Eldritch is actually a pretty fun control deck if you play it as such. The thing is, most Macedon players just have a trauma from the early seasons, like seasons 1 through 8 or something, where Eldritch with just a ton of floodgates was definitely the optimal way to play. It probably kind of still is. And then they hit the Conquistador, which I think was just the weirdest hit personally, because that's what gives the engine its grind game, right? That gives it the removal. You have the big Bungus just sitting on the field, the big Gold Daddy, and you don't really have much else after you use up your one pop, so you're kind of forced to rely on the floodgates. And now a bunch of the floodgates have been hit, and this deck has just been immensely power crept anyways. There's so much non-destruction removal in the format now as well that you can just access with basically all the top decks. There's a lot of like banishing and stuff going on, especially, which really hurt the deck. So I think this is totally fine. Maybe we'll see it crop up in some more interesting variants that don't just set 5 pass every game. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed free content. Woo!